Some of the most important things that we were looking for was wearability features for the officer. We had tried a number of video recording systems and they just weren't functioning the way I wanted them to function. And the first time that I saw the utility design, I loved it, because I thought once the officer puts it on, he doesn't have to bother with it anymore. It's not going to fall off. It's not going to get mislodged. It's not going to get misplaced. It's going to be there for the officer.
There's been many times where every officer in the department has been at a location in the city where citizens have walked up to us and said, "What's that little spot on your vest?" And we tell them it's the new body cameras. And they, the first response is, "Are you recording me?" And of course we say no, but they think it's a really neat function, and they definitely understand why we have to have it in this day and age. These cameras are to protect the police and the citizens as well.
As a detective, when we do field interviews and we do go to people's houses, sometimes these houses and these interviews that we do go to are the suspect's house, and we may not have enough for an arrest warrant and whatnot, but we still need to continue to talk to them. And just to be on the safe side, if anything was to go wrong, we want to have all our equipment with us. And when we can just hit the button on our wrist to activate the camera, we can also use the camera to go back when we have to rewrite our narratives at the end of the day.
The officer down feature was very close to my heart, and when I was speaking to the decision makers at utility, I was able to share a personal experience that our agency had back in the early 90s when an officer was shot and killed on a traffic stop, and he was not found for over 3 hours. And I immediately thought, is there a way that we could alert the other officers in the field and the command staff if that ever happens to an officer and he's disabled somehow or he can't function on his own? We got to get help there, and we got to get help quick to save him, because we all know that time is ticking and we have to help an officer as fast as we can. And sure enough, here it is today. Thank God we haven't used it, but if an officer needs it, it's there. Policy-based policing is something that's been around for a while, but the good thing about policies is that it's like any living document. It has to be changed. And when you decide to make a change, you also have to have not only the capability, but the ability to do that. So with this technology, if I decide to make a change in policy, the change in technology has to reflect that decision I make. It can be done very easily. The bottom line is the citizens feel more comfortable now speaking to an officer that have this technology that's visible, that's working, and they were able to interact knowing that the police-citizen encounter is properly documented and recorded for both the citizens and me to review at a later time.